Hello, welcome to the Freedom from Anger podcast. I'm joined today with Brian Johnson from Austin, Texas. He's a dad, he's a business owner, he's a speaker, he's an author. He's all about human optimization. And he's here today to talk to us about emotions, emotional intelligence, anger, all the things that we're trying to work on here in the podcast. So I'm very excited to have him on here. How you doing
Yeah.
today, Brian?
Enthusiastic about sharing this with you because I have a strong belief that today will be some of the most valuable information I share with you. Because once I share this with you and you realize how simple it is, you're going to be amazed that you didn't know this before. And that's how I felt. It almost cost me my life trying to figure it out, though. So I'll save you those details, give you the shortcuts, right? So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about keeping it simple. I think we try to overcomplicate life, overcomplicate things, and whatever information you want to share with us.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little context first so you understand where I'm coming from, and I'll show you a couple pictures. So I've been to fit 3 different times. Okay. And I did that show in the red trunks when I was 30. I'll be 46 this month. I'm close to in better shape now than I was then. Here's why I'm telling you this. If you're not currently in shape, it's only because of a few things. Number one, it's an identity thing. Okay. Meaning whatever I believe myself to be on an unconscious level is why I'm experiencing whatever I'm experiencing in all areas of life, meaning that is my set point. Okay. Once we can figure that out, and then we can go in there and clean up all the things that are in the way from us being able to express that best ideal. I call it my heaven on earth in me is that's my outcome, right? Whatever your version is, do the adjustments accordingly. But here's the point. You still need to be consciously aware on what you're feeling because here's what a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that we are creating our world by how we're feeling. Law of attraction is very real. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. It is staggeringly accurate. So if you have weird stuff showing up in your life, it's because you got things going on. And I'm going to show you how to track it. Then I'm going to show you how to change it. Okay. So this information did not just come to me. I've started doing the health thing when I was 7. So I've been doing this 39 years now, which is crazy for me. And I always did it because I loved it. I also did it because I got picked on and punched in the face a few times when I was little and decided that was enough of that. So I got into bodybuilding at age 7 with my dad because that was the only thing that I knew to get bigger, to be less of a target, right? So I actively, for survival purposes, sought these levels of, let's say, education, information, and development to help myself become no target, right? So I can't stand bullies. I can't stand being lied to, and I can't stand being lied to. Right. So what I did over my years is get clear on, okay, what's important for people to thrive? Because I've always had an interest in ending suffering, ending pain, and ending trauma as fast as possible for people. So I had a void of information that would yield those types of results as fast as possible until about the last 4 or 5 years. Okay. So as I've gone through my development, I went through a lot of nutrition stuff. Like I work with people with cancer, Parkinson's, and AIDS, and people with type 2, all the things, right? I help doctors don't like me because I help them come off the things they ain't supposed to be on by helping them balance out their temple, right? So all I'm going to do is show you how to bring yourself back into harmony. Because look, you also need to understand this. I haven't been sick since I was in elementary school. I didn't miss a day of high school. So I don't get sick. I'll give you a secret. Okay? It's not that I don't. I don't. And here's the caveat. Whenever I feel something coming on, like lymph nodes, or I've been around people, or if I'm traveling or flying, I give myself a little boost, but generally have not had to. Anytime you feel your lymphatic system start to get kind of like, oh, I'm swallowing, it's kind of tight. That's your sewage system. When that starts acting up, that's telling you something's coming up or your body's fighting something. Immediately take 2 echinaceas. Not a doctor. You got to do your own homework. Just sharing with you what I've experienced and what I've seen transform hundreds of thousands of lives. You do it works for you. 2 echinaceas, you go to bed, it's a wrap. Echinaceas will boost your immunity 5 to 800%. You don't want to take them every day. Keep a bottle in hand for your family. When you got something going on, give everybody 2 echinaceas in your house. You're good to go. Get a bottle of 90 or 130 caps to last you a year, 2 years, something like that. You don't need it all the time. Keep yourself a little stash. Okay. Now you need to understand. So I'm going to be Brian because I don't know how to be Frank, right? But there's some things you need to be fully aware of that a lot of people don't want to pay attention to and don't want to think about. But there's certain things going on you need to prepare yourself for. Okay. And what I'm going to do is show you how to do this emotion, because what you get to understand, family, is that as I'm helping you tune yourself up, your experience is going to change because who you're being is changed. You also need to be very clear on what I'm about to tell you. One thing I have for sure found out over the years of doing this, after a couple 100,000 transformations, there's a couple things I have found that are a fact, right? If you're in a relationship, listen to what I'm telling you. When you start doing this kind of work, some people are gung ho, many are not. When it comes to feeling feelings, people are like, let me just tell you, it only takes a split second to clean it up. I'm going to show you. We're going to do it together. Just trust what I'm telling you. Just be open-minded. You ain't got to give me 99% of your trust. Just give me 1%. We'll start there, right? So you need to know, because as you start growing, often your partner, your soulmate, whoever you're with, ain't interested in that ride. So while you're sprinting to heaven to get there, whatever that is for you, and your partner's like, it's going to create some problems. It's going to create problems to the extent that 74% of people who show up in my experience end up splitting up and getting in different relationships over time because they're no longer a fit. Okay. I encourage you to be open-minded to the idea, because there's nothing worse than investing your life with someone you ain't supposed to be with. So if you already got telltale signs and you start doing what I'm telling you, just be, I don't like the word mindful, because full of what? Most people's full of doo-doo, right? I don't want a mindful. I'd like a conscious awareness of what's going on so I can make intelligent decisions to experience my best expression and experience what God put me here to be, not do. That's going to happen when we're being the proper person first. We are human beings, not human doings. We got it backwards. Whenever you can track who you're being first, which I'm going to show you, and then you can make the adjustments to bring yourself into harmony with trackable information that I'm about to show you, then you know you're being the ideal version of yourself. Then you take action from that state. Got it? Now let's go. Any questions on that, brother man, before we cruise in a little deeper? Are you good?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Just check it in. Right. So here we go. So here's what we're going to talk about. And I always do one free conversation with all my family members. It's hundreds of thousands of people at this point. It's just my way to add value. It's my way to get to know you. I have tons of resources and relationships with people I'm connected with, and I am a connector of amazing people. So if you resonate, you get value on what we're talking about, and you'd like some help, just text me. I'll give you my text message number at the end. You can text me. Here's what I'm going to show you. When you text message me, text me the word chart. Don't say, hey, Brian, I'll see you when you get back here anyway. And I'll send you an audio message so you know it's me. You'll hear my voice. But here's what I'm going to show you. This chart right here, I'll give to you for free. Okay. This is my ABRA chart, like abracadabra poof to create with words. Okay. The A stands for awareness. B stands for breathe. You got 2 R's, release, and the A is appreciate and aligned action. I'm going to walk you through how to do this today. I'm going to give you an example. All right. Now, since we're talking about anger, I got some interesting stuff for you, because here's what you're gonna probably find this a little interesting. That's okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, so you can make the adjustments accordingly, right? Or be unconscious, whatever you choose. So when you have anger stuff going on, and notice on my chart over here, anger is gonna show up on your back. Okay. So if you have back pain, kidney pains, spine pains, neck pains, anything on your back, anger, it's family is anger. That means resentment, burden, or frustration, or unforgiveness. Anything out of love is going to create back stuff, period. If you got back stuff going on, take this with a loving grain of salt. Me too. Okay. That means I'm being a victim. If I have back stuff going on legitimate, that means I'm being a victim and life that's happening to me versus for me. Most people have been educated into life happening to them. This is what I am here to help you rectify and to resolve, so we can clean up that identity so that your identity is set so life is happening for you. Does that make sense? That's very important, right? So when you have back stuff, just know that's going to be anger. Now, listen to me. When you do this, if you have back stuff going on, the first thing you're going to check is the front of your body. Okay. The front of your body. You will never have this over here without some of these over here. Okay. Now I'm going to walk you through this. Like I said, I'll give it to you for free. Save this as your screensaver, because look, every 15 minutes, I have an alarm that goes off. Sometimes I'm doing podcasts or coaching or whatever, so I'm not going to catch it, but most of the time I will. It's just a sound. That sound is for me to do exactly what I'm about to show you, so that I know fully that I'm in alignment. Okay. The first step is this, very simple. Check it out. Track where you're breathing from right now. Are you breathing from your chest or from your stomach? Meaning, if you take a deep breath and your stomach doesn't go out instead of your chest, or your chest goes up, that's going to tell you instantly you need to stop what you're doing and use my system. If you are breathing from your chest, meaning your air is not going down, that means you're in fight or flight or freeze or fear. Okay. Very important to know that, because look, If you just start recognizing that, like, oh, wow, I'm out of alignment, and you make an adjustment, bam, you get yourself back in the game, your body's going to confirm it instantly. So, you're like, oh, wow, that was different. My body just shifted. I took a deep breath. Something happened. That's the point. Every time I share something with you, like I give you another layer of the code, your state is going to change. Every time I go through another layer of it, like when I go through the A, ABRA, and I go through the B, and then I go through the R, release, every time you should feel like literally like you take a metaphorical brick out of your spiritual backpack. You might feel lighter. You might feel a smile. You might feel your body grounded. You might be at peace. You might have some enthusiasm. I'm going to help you to abstract the information and the data that's going on in your vehicle that's keeping you in anxiety or stress. And family, listen to this. This is very important for you. Ditch the word anxiety altogether. Anxiety is just fear. Okay. And if I can get you out of your head and into your body, we'll clean it up in 2 seconds. I guarantee you, if I'm wrong, I'll pay you $1,000. I have not had one yet. Okay. I've seen it. I have never seen what I'm about to show you not work ever. I will throw myself into the worst situations with people and help them clean it up. But here's the cool part. No matter how intense the emotion is, we don't ever have to get into, well, they said this to me and he did that. None of that. All we're going to do is find the location where the tension is so we know what emotion is connected to. And then I'm going to show you how to clean it up in 2 seconds. And finito, that's a wrap. I'm going to show you. Ready? Here you go. Here's what you're going to say. Making sense so far, bro? You good,
Oh
James?
yeah. Yep.
Here we go. So now look, when I give you this chart, when you text me the word chart, this will pop up for you. I'll see you and say hi to you. But the point is, save this as your screensaver because look, once I show you how to do this, you can be an absolute ninja in your own life in 30 minutes. Because all you got to remember is that this right here, when you're going through, I have a digital product that does all this stuff. But when I started laying these statements out or showing you these frequencies, all I did when I was memorizing these is write them on a little note card and put it in my pocket. There's maybe 6 of them. Okay. 6 statements that you will use your entire life because every one of these has an emotion to it. I'm going to show you a couple of them today. I'm going to show you the linguistical phrases and we're going to do it. And Jay's going to be our guinea human so he can track it, right? But that way, you have a palpable state change. Like it did change every time. That way you don't ever have to trust me. You just got to do what I'm asking you to do. And you use your own body to confirm your truth. That's all I'm doing. As I'm tracking, I'm getting you to go back to your body every time I tell you a statement so you can feel the difference. Oh, it didn't change. Okay, then I'll tell you, okay, adjust this. Okay, that worked. I'm getting you to go back to your body every time because my job here is to empower you and inspire you with third grader wisdom that you can share with your kids that works every time to clean up all your stuff. Now, listen, I've had clients that have been in therapy traditionally for 30 or 40 years. They've been paying for it, get really hot with me, especially when we started talking about that thing. All right, look, I love you. I don't want to talk about that. Matter of fact, if we were to talk about this for 30 or 40 years and you would pay me, I would consider myself a failure. Okay. Instead of that, how about this? How about you just give me a minute and let me do what I do and let me just see if we can make a difference. Are you open minded? Okay. 2 seconds later, it's done. They're like, after they pick your jaw up off the ground, it's like, I can't believe I've been paying that for 30, 40 years. And we just cleaned it up in like 2 seconds. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry that it was like that for you, but at least now you know. Okay. Because here's the thing. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to string all your business out. I don't care about that. I just care about you thriving. If I can show you how to eliminate the shenanigans that you don't need and show you exactly what to say so you can clean it up instantly, that's my outcome. So check this out. Okay. There's 2 ways you can use my system, my ABRA system. So this is my chart. I have videos that walk you through what to say. So you literally write them down on a note card. It's that simple. Okay. There's 2 ways to use this. You can use this by pulling up one person at a time in your life that you maybe had some issues with. And when I work with my clients, first session, we go a whole hour. We go through their whole lineage, their mom, their dad, their brothers, sisters, partners, former partners, business, all of it, and clean it all up. Because a lot of people don't know what I'm about to tell you. You can pull up, just James, pull up someone in your life that you've had some opportunities with. There's some challenges. Okay. When you have them pulled up, just say got him or got her.
What'd you say there?
Pull up a person in your mind that you've had some issues with in your life. When you have him or her, just say got him or got her.
Got him.
Now here's what you're going to say. Okay. Now here's what's going to happen. Family, I'm showing you how to work on yourself right quick. We're using James. He's a great student, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to say, I give myself permission to feel my feelings and it's okay. Get it, James?
I give myself permission to have
Feel
my
my
feelings and it's okay.
Perfect. Nothing is like, oh God, what I get myself into. I'm showing you how to do that now is you're not going to have to talk about it. Guys are like, but look, I work with former Navy SEALs commanders and stuff, and they have no idea what we're talking about here. Because look, we are not taught on how to feel our feelings at all. Almost cost me my life. I told you I almost killed myself like 12 times, shot creating aside with suicide, done crazy amounts of drugs, did 8 months of jail. Like I got all the hats. No one ever taught me emotional tools. I had no idea. There's many Christian, I'm not picking on Christians specifically anyway. There's a lot of conscious people who ain't conscious at all, who are quasi-conscious, but don't have a clue that their body's talking to them at all. And when I say talking to you, family, it's talking to you 24/7. Every time you have an itch or a scratch, some of you listening right now or watching, are your body's doing stuff because it's trying to get your attention to get me to help you out. That's why when I'm around people, their subconscious knows I understand how to do this. That's why their body starts scratching and itching or stuttering. Did you know that every time we stutter, it's not a stutter problem. It's code. Okay. Check this out. When you get my chart, you're going to see these numbers inside those circles. You see that, Jay? You see that 3 in the throat and the 4 in the chest and the 3 in the solar plexus and fear in the stomach and then 3 down here again below the belly button and then 5 on your back. If I said, hey, today was a great day. That 5 stutter is an instant fire that I got some stuff going on, specifically anger, which we're talking about today. Okay. Now let me just give you some wisdom. Okay. In all my thousands of times of doing this, I've never had maybe 3 or 4 people do a 5. Generally, it's a hey, and a 1, 2, 3, or a 4. It's a 2 is an apathy, which means I can't, this is too hard. I'll give you the code for that one. 3 is sorrow, sadness, or grief. And you'll notice 3s right here. Okay. You see a 3 in your throat. You see a 3 on your solar plexus, and you see a 3 in your stomach. Family, listen to what I'm about to tell you, because I'm about to give you the keys to the castle. If you have anger, legitimately, if you have anger going on, your back is acting up. Trust me, use the phrase I just told James. I give myself permission to feel my feelings, and it's okay. Some of you may not have ever had a conscious thought about doing this. That's okay. This is what we're doing. And your body might be like, no, thank you. I'm going to give you a couple of upgrades because some of you might need to say it a few times. What I'm showing you how to do is be with yourself. I'm showing you how to communicate with your inner child, your 3-year-old, which some of us probably have never done. Okay. That's okay. We're not taught this kind of stuff. That's why most people's lives is in shambles, because you got this version of you that's going the complete opposite direction with where you think you're going. And the problem is the version that you don't have a lot of control over is the one that's making the decisions in your life. So until you can clean that version up and get clear on what's up, you're not going to be able to change it. And life is going to happen to you because that's your programming. Okay. Very simple. Thinking about it, it's very simple to even change. You just need some hand holding to help you out. And I'll help you. I have all the things to help you out. Okay. So here's the next one. So you can pull up a person, which we just talked about with James, and we're going to go a little deeper. I'm just giving you some understanding. You can pull up a person one at a time. When you pull that person up and you say, listen to this, I give myself permission to feel my feelings and it's okay. That's a question mark, not a statement. I give myself permission to feel my feelings and it's okay. My head says yes and O went down, which tells me, boom, that's a game. That's a check. Validation number 1, head says yes. Some of you are going to get a no. Pay attention. It's going on all day. When you're talking to yourself, your head is doing this or this. Bam, quickly. It's going to do this before you get the statement out because it knows what you're going to say. Give an example. I love myself. I did that intentionally. I love myself, right? I love myself. Like back in my past right here, when I thought I loved myself, not only was I incorrect, I was 180 degrees off the truth and the facts. And I had no idea. Like I thought I was in alignment. That's a bad place to be. It's totally be unconsciously unconscious. Okay. Thinking I was another way and being not only incorrect, but being 180 degrees off the facts. That's a problem. Most people are there. It's okay. Right. So here you go. So you have your person pulled up, you can pull them up one at a time. And when you say, I give myself permission to feel my feelings, and it's okay. And I'm going to give you a proper example because I'm a fast talker. Listen to this and take note of this because this is a better way to get a better experience. Listen, I give myself permission to feel my feelings and it's okay. My body took a deep breath. My head says yes, because the point is this, if I'm talking, those words never have an opportunity to drop in to where I can let my body respond to the word because your body is going to do this. What I'm doing is I'm teaching you what we call conscious language, saying something and being aware of what it does in our body. Here's an example. Brother James, test this out. Say I want, and then say I choose, and let's see what you notice.
I want, I choose.
Well, you notice. Did you
Mhm.
notice your head do this on I choose? I'm looking, I'm wanting, I'm not watching
Yeah.
because people are like, oh shit, he knows body language. I'm like, I'm not paying attention, but I'm paying attention. You just know I love there's no judgment. And here's why I'm telling you this, because when you're being with yourself or you're with other people and they're talking, and it would make great sense if they were doing this. And the whole time they're doing this, ask some more questions and get on the same page because this person is obviously not in alignment at all. That body is going to tell you the truth. Watch Brad Pitt, an example. I love him to life, whatever he's doing. And, or here's the point. When he's doing $1 million movies, he's getting paid for it. He should be doing this the whole time they're doing this. Like people just don't get it. Okay. Pay attention. I'm not telling you this to read other people. You can, but what's the point if you don't even know what yourself is telling you? Indeed, there is no point. Right. So what I'm showing you how to do is be honest with yourself. So that way you can use the information and make adjustments. Cause there's been times when I'm like, yes. And my head's like, no. And I'm like, oh God, thank you so much. All right. I give myself permission to say yes to me. And my head says yes. And I take a deep breath. I'm like, boom, back in the game. But if I wouldn't have known that and I would have continued on, I would have still remained asleep. You get it? Okay. So back to this, you can pull up a person and your body's going to track these checkpoints. Example, you can do this pulling up a person. You can also not have anything in mind, but just realize that you're breathing from your chest and you're out of alignment. Then you bust out my chart. Okay. So here's what you're going to do. So Brother James, play along. And those of you and listening in the background, play along too. So get your person pulled up. Okay. James already did. I give myself permission to feel my feelings. And it's okay. I'm getting you to say this out loud so you can hear yourself because it's going to take you a little bit of time to become a ninja, not a lot, but until I can get you saying it out loud and you can catch like, oh, example, I give myself permission to look of my fear into joy. If I had said my joy, that would have been a good statement. But I left my completely out because my body's like, but I had many people have no idea. It's just code, sabotaging ourselves. It's normal. Okay. This is going on. This is why when I'm talking to you and I'm hearing you on the phone or communicating, I'm going to help you track these things. You're like, oh, I did hear that. Or, hey, did you hear that stutter? How many was it? It was 4. Oh, 4 shows up in 2 places. It shows up right here in your chest. It also shows up right here in your stomach. Now, 4 family is okay. Whenever you have fear active, it has 2 homes right here in your chest. 1 in your stomach. My belly button is right here. Is my solar plexus or my stomach in here in this area. Sometimes you might feel like you're hungry, even though you already ate. That's fear. That's anxiety. Remember, I told you earlier, ditch the word anxiety because that's going to keep you in your mind. That's where people go to get medicines. I'm talking about solving it completely. Now, of course, you got to do it over and over again because you're going to get hit with it from all kinds of places. Fear's been propagated forever, family. Like it's a fact, right? And guess what? God hasn't created a spirit of fear, only power, love, and a sound mind. And what I'm doing is helping you to get your mind sound with sound tools and skill sets that you can use to reclaim your victory on the spot every time. Okay. So fear, since we're talking about fear, let's go through this real quick and I'll track this real fast. And we're going to show you how to use your body to really determine if you have some things going on, emotional things. Okay. So James, when you think about your person, does your throat get tight at all?
Not a little bit.
Okay. So, and just so you know, trust yourself. Don't adult it. Okay. If you even think you have an iota of something, just trust it. I'll help you clean it up and I'll show you how easy it is. And trust me, it'll be simple. All right. How about your chest?
No, not so much.
Solar plexus?
No, not stomach a little bit.
Okay. That's where fear shows up. All right. How about below your belly button?
No.
Okay. On your back?
Yeah. I just up here
On
between
your
the shoulder
spine?
blades. It's got like both sides of the spine,
All right.
shoulder blades.
So it's both it's not on the spine, but it's on both muscle sides. Okay. So
Mhm.
let's break it down. Okay. There's no judgment. Whenever we're doing this, family, zero judgment. I don't ever need to know the story. All I'm doing is helping you to become aware. I'm going to show you what to say and you're going to track it. Like, okay, it feels lighter. It's that simple, right? So here's what we know with Brother James. We know that he has some tension in his drum. Okay. We know that I think there was some in your chest or no?
No. Mostly
Okay. And then there was stomach, which is
yeah.
fear, and then on your back. Okay. So remember, right? Anger is always a byproduct. It's never the OG. It's never the original one. Okay. Now, once you know that, then we're going to use the front of the body. So we have 3, we have throat right here. And I'll give you this for free. Like I said, just use my text number comment word chart. The 3 in the throat is going to be sorrow or sadness. Okay. And then we also go down here to 4, which is in the stomach, which is fear. Okay. And then over here, of course, we have on the back, which is anger. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go with fear first, since we were already talking about it. And remember, since the word anxiety is fear, we're going to use that one first. Those of you that are committed to thriving, write this down. I'm giving you a gold mine for free. Okay. So here's what you're going to say. So you have ABRA chart. Okay. A is awareness. Okay. We are aware he has tension in his throat. He has tension in his stomach. Okay. That's the A in awareness. Now, look, this is why it's important to say, I give myself permission to feel my feelings, and it's okay. Because I have had people that were off their rockers. I knew it and they knew it both. And we started getting into checking their feelings like, no, I can't feel anything, can't feel anything. That's exactly right. Can't feel anything is the code. But as soon as I get them to say, I give myself permission to feel my feelings and it's okay. And I might have to get them to say it a few times for them to actually feel it. Okay. Then when I get them to check breath, and I go, okay, I got tightness here, I got tightness here, I got tightness here, I got tight hole. Okay. That's important because most people are unconscious. Some of them by choice, a lot of them by unconscious choice, meaning they had no idea that they made a commitment to not feel what was going on because they weren't secure. It wasn't an environment to be able to do that. It's a lot of that, a lot of trauma, right? So all we're doing is cleaning it up. Okay. Now, so we have fear. So we have awareness, check, boom. The next B is breathe. We already talked about this. If you're breathing from your chest, track where you're breathing from, Brother Jay. You're breathing from your chest or your stomach.
Chest.
Yeah. And I figured that, just asking it so our family members can get a verbal idea of that, because anytime you got something going on, you got to breathe from your chest. Okay. So we have awareness, breathe. First R is release. So you're going to say, and just do it, scan of your body real quick. You need to close your eyes and do it, scan your body real quick, because here's what happens. When I give you these next layers of code, it's going to make a change instantly. This is how simple it is. Third grader stuff, right? So here you go. The saying is, I give myself permission to feel my fear, and it's okay. Get it?
I give myself permission to feel my fear, and it's okay.
Great. Okay. This is good. Now just track your body. Specifically, you had tightness in your stomach. Just track your body and just say if your body feels any more relaxed, just off of that piece.
Yeah.
Just Myers. Okay. Remember, as I help you have the baby, simple 1-degree shifts, and you do those throughout your day, family, you're going to have a massive paradigm shift shortly after, because it just takes those little bitty bricks being chipped out before the whole thing comes into transformation. So just be willing to just forgive yourself. Give yourself permission to, I recommit to loving me. I recommit to my family. I recommit to my life. I recommit to my service. All of it. Just get yourself back in the game. I give myself permission to forgive myself. I give myself permission to recommit to loving me. I give myself permission to move forward. I give myself permission to feel my feelings. I give myself permission to forgive such and such. I give myself permission to forgive myself. I use that a lot. As a high performer that you are, make sure you use, I give myself permission, because that's going to bypass our gatekeeper. Okay. It's going to bypass our gatekeeper. And that's a big deal, because what I'm showing you how to do is communicate with your highest self, which is inhabiting and orchestrating your body. You don't have to think about the body language stuff. It's happening whether you like it or not. All I'm doing is like this right here is body language. I can, I will. So take your right finger. This is my right finger in case I'm backwards. Right finger, right nostril. This is I will. Left side is I can. So when you find yourself doing this, especially when I start teaching or doing this kind of stuff, my nose is like, I can, I will, I can, I will, I can, I will. It's your body's talking to you. Okay. Guarantee you, some of you got itches and all kinds of stuff. It's code. Right? Body's just like, hey, 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 here we go. So I give myself permission to feel my fear, and it's okay. Here's the recode. Watch. It takes 2 seconds to transmute this energy, because all I'm doing right now, for those of you tracking this, we're using this point right here in your chest. Okay. The 4, we're also using this point right here. Using this next code that I'm about to give you, this recode statement, pay attention to those 2 spots, because those 2 spots should mostly go away, if not completely. That way we know we just cleaned up the fear that was connected to that relationship. Does that make sense? Very simple. Okay, now here we go. So now the next piece is the recode. The second R in your average charter system is this. I give myself permission to love my fear, to my courage, and my faith.
I give my
I give myself
I
permission
give myself permission
to love my fear
to love my fear
and to my courage and my faith.
into my courage and my faith.
Great. Now put it together one more time and breathe into your toes when you do it. I give myself
Give myself
permission
permission to
to
love
love
my
my fear
fear here
into
and
my courage, my faith.
into my courage and faith.
There you go. Now you left mine off, but let's see what happens.
Oh.
Now just track. It's okay. Just track your body and see if you feel any more relaxed in your stomach. You more than likely will. If not, we'll clean it up. But it should have worked a little bit anyways.
Yeah.
Lighter?
Yeah.
Okay. So now here's the point. I've never had this not work. So every time you do this, family, go back and check the location on your chart. That way you don't have to take my word for it. You're going to know because your body's like, oh, that's lighter. My chest is lightened up. My breathing shifted. My attitude changed. Bam. You ain't got to take my words for it. You have your own experience. I'm just showing you how to track it. I'm just giving you the system, giving you the wisdom, and then helping you apply it. It's third grader stuff. It literally would take you 30 minutes to be a genius for the rest of your life. That's it. Okay. Very easy, super duplicatable. So now let's just check in, because remember how I told you everything else, there's a kingpin, there's an OG, there's one that starts it all, that stems the original emotion, and the other ones come in. So let's just check in. Let's just see. We might need to do some more work. Let's just track it. Track your throat. Is your throat feeling any lighter? It's still got some stuff in there. It may still have some stuff in there.
No, it's feeling better.
Okay, good. How about your back?
It's actually feeling better.
There you go. So here's the learning. Here's the education. We pulled up one person. I don't even know who this person is. Not one time was a name mentioned. I don't need to know. Okay. We don't need to know what was done, who was done, what was done. None of that stuff. Okay. Track the person. We get ourselves secure. I give myself permission to feel my feelings and it's okay. And then we check our checkpoints. We literally go through where it's at. Okay. Once we find which ones are active, this is where we're going through the A in ABRA. A is awareness. Okay. We're aware. Brother Jay had throat tightness, stomach, and back. And we found the original one, which was fear. Once we cleaned fear up, sorrow and sadness went away. So did anger on his back. Okay. Now, if I would have started with anger, I would have probably cleaned it up, but I could have got all three of them with one shot versus doing all three of them independently. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other sayings are just as simple as easy. I mean, all this stuff I'll help you out with, but was that difficult, Brother Jay?
No, not at all.
So the key is you would be able to go back through, or I can help you, go back through your lineage with all the people in your life and do that. Honestly, it would take you no more than 30 minutes to do it, maybe less than that. Once you know the phrases, it's just simple as what we saw with Brother James. It's just loving here's really the key. For myself too, I'm not omitted to this. This is why I'm having this kind of a conversation with you. It's going to boil down to us loving ourselves and putting ourselves first and making ourselves sit down and do it and do the uncomfortable. But listen to me. There's nothing more uncomfortable than never dealing with that stuff and regretting it your entire life until it's time to go and realizing, wow, I just wasted my entire life worrying about this stuff or not ever cleaning it up. And it completely inhabited my entire expression. So my invitation to you is just let yourself be okay with feeling a little uncomfortable just for a few minutes. I give myself permission to have fun while I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. This way I can do my work. I can clean it up. I can change it. But even if you're doing stuff with me on a free call, which I'll do a free call with you, you're going to find out for yourself how simple it is. All you got to do is just follow the steps. Get clear on where it's at. So you know what emotion is. Oh, I give myself permission to feel my sorrow and it's okay. Or I give myself permission to feel my fear and it's okay. I give myself permission to feel my grief and it's okay. I give myself permission to feel my anger and it's okay. And then the recode is I give myself permission to love my anger into my blah. I give myself permission to love my fear into my blank. I give myself permission to love my sorrow, my sadness into my joy. It is the same thing every time, no matter how many times you go down the rabbit hole of a new person, family, every time it's the same thing. It's the same words. You put this in your pocket, go about your day, save this as your screensaver, put some little reminders to check in with yourself throughout the day. Again, I can help you with all this, but that way you can check in with yourself throughout your day because here's what happens. Life happens. And if you don't have ways to check in with yourself, life is going to happen and you will go out all day, a week, a month, a year, for many years without ever checking in with who are you being? Who am I being? Because I've had thoughts where I was being amazing, but guess what? I had a lot of stuff going on too, but I had no idea. That's the problem. Is now what I'm doing is helping you bring your authenticity and your accuracy coherent, cohesive at the same time. All right, my man, what questions you got? We went through a lot in 43 minutes.
Hey, a lot of things that you said really stood out to me, and it's a lot of things that I've said for years. And what I always told people, whether I was working with anger or addictions, you know, I always say, hey, if you can do these three things, then you're off to a good start. And number one is love yourself, forgive others. Because, like you said, we carry around so much baggage and we carry it around in our body. And I'm always telling people, especially, when it comes to anger, be mindful of your body. What's your body telling you? Your body is your telltale sign that something's wrong, you
I'm going
know?
to share this with you because this will be useful for you. Okay. Family, check this out. Car wrecks, don't ever just show up. Blown out biceps, don't ever just show up. Blown out anything, issues, symptoms, none of it is going to just show up. Here's what I mean. Remember how you heard me say law of attraction is very real when we first started talking? Law of attraction is very real. Okay. So I've been in my relationship 18 years now, and I have had part that's supposed to be there is somewhere up here. Okay. Number one. Number two, I've fried my inner left groin, and I've also created 2 car wrecks. Here's why I mentioned this to you because it's very important. All 4 of those happened because I was very hot, not temperature wise, anger wise, and I didn't clean it up. And I was hot for 3 days apiece. Let me tell you, the stronger the feeling you have in here, the faster you're going to get something in the form of other people, circumstances, situations, or events that match how you feel. Okay. I'm gonna just take a little further so you can go back and like, okay, I get it. Because once I tell you this and you get the severity of it, when you're in a hot mood, you're not going to go get behind the wheel of a car. You're not going to go do martial arts practice. And no, you need to relax. You need to do some grounding. You need to do some stuff and you need to do some ABRA. So your emotional state is not conducive to bringing more chaos in your life because that's what a lot of people's are. But they don't know that because they're unconscious on what they're feeling, but who they're being. This is what we're talking about. Okay. So when I got in my car, I wasn't driving down the road going, I hope we get in a car. I hope we get a car. No, I was driving down the road about this thing. Okay. And all of a sudden, as I'm driving down the road, I'm just kind of steaming about it. It starts raining outside. So I started slowing down. I was driving downtown to see my social media guy. And as I'm slowing down, it starts raining harder. And the car in front of me starts slowing down faster. So I had to hit my brakes a little bit. Sure enough, boom, boom. I knew as soon as I hit him exactly what happened. I knew it. I'm like, all right, forgive me. And I dropped it instantly, like a hot potato. Boom, cleaned it off. Okay. Now, that doesn't just apply to me. That applies to you. Okay. So when things start showing up, they're not ever just going to show up. Like every organ system also has an emotional counterpart. Heart is love, kidneys unforgiveness, right side masculine, left side feminine, spleen apathy, liver resentment, thyroid anger, lungs grief. They all have an emotional correlation. And when you get that, I'm just going to share this. You do what you choose to. Don't ever let your Western person tell you, oh, well, you have blank. No, you don't. You have unresolved emotional stuff. And now you just gave it a name. Now you got a horrible problem on your hand because now they can treat it. I'm not interested in treating anything. I'm talking about transmuting it completely. Okay. So what would be useful for you right quick as we close out our little chat? With something else I was going to tell you. I choose to remember. There you go. Oh, I forgot. I cancel. I choose to remember. That's an example of changing languaging. Or like, check this out. This is a good one too. When someone says, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. And I choose to know. I give myself permission to know. Or who do I know that does know? All of those are, I like to call them hurdle jumpers. They're linguistical codes that will keep our subconscious in the game. Because family, if you don't know this, let's close out on this one. Yeah. If you don't know this, I'm going to share this with you. Just be open-minded to the idea because it's pretty nasty. Not, you'll get it. Okay. Not like in a negative way, just like somebody pulled a fast one. So our language is terrible. We have weekends and weekdays. Maybe there's a coincidence. Well, when someone is awake, that would be, in my mind, we would consider them conscious or present. But guess what? What is also kept or held at a wake? You know, for a dead
Dead
person.
body, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's something going on here. Let's just see, right? Okay. When someone is earning a living, what's kept in an urn
Yeah.
of a dead person? What I'm getting at is our language is double layered, sometimes triple layered. What we think is one thing is other things because our body phonetically doesn't know the difference. Okay. So you think about if we're talking about, oh, I have my weekend and weekdays. I don't have weekends and weekdays. I have strong ends and strong days, period. I ditched weekends a long time ago. Okay. Because the language part is going to be astronomically critical as to how you're either going to thrive or not. Because our language is what's shaping our thoughts. It's what's shaping our reality. It's also shaping our feelings. So we did this little example earlier of I want versus I choose. Oh, I want, scripturally speaking, not religious. I'm not a religious fan. I'm a hugely spiritual fan. Scripture says the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Interesting. So if I say I want, I'm agreeing with not having it by my own free will. And when you say I want, I notice my chest gets tight. Now remember what happens when something shows up in your chest? That's where fear shows up. And when I say I want, it's a minute movement. But watch, I'll see if we can track it. I can track it, but you might be able to. So when I'm standing here and I say I want, my body immediately goes, I'm going to exaggerate it so you can see it. But here's what I feel I want. When I say I want, my body goes, boom. It's micro. Like you would not know it unless you were actively aware of this and paying attention to it. You would never not pay attention to it if you were unconscious about it, because most people still do it every day. I want this. I want that. I want that. All we're doing is agreeing with not having it. So when you say I choose and just do it for yourself, say I want, I choose. Notice I choose goes down into my body. It's embodied. Plus my head says yes. So I want bounces. Boom. I choose embodied. There's all kinds of language like this. This is as the more we talk and I share things with you, you will hear me say different things like, that was interesting. It's not because I'm being weird. I'm changing my language because I know how smashed our language is. And they knew that. People creating it knew that 100%.
Oh yeah,
So
there's definitely a lot of power in our words, and how do we talk to ourselves? Because that's who we talk to the most is ourselves. So I definitely talk a lot about that positive, negative self talk. I'm real big on you know really like you said, the listen to the words that you're using when
yeah,
you're putting
good.
them out there in the world, because it's a lot of times we really don't pay attention to what we're saying or what it means. It's just automatic, and it's like, hey, let's look at you know, let's break these words down, and I'll show you why they're negative, why you shouldn't say these things.
And that's important because everything we've been taught, I mean, just me being Brian with you again, it may not be popular to believe, but I'm under the full impression that everything we taught has been garbage. Like when I turned 30, I'm 46. Mark, when I turned 30, I realized everything I thought I knew wasn't so. So I literally went to the drawing board and I was talking to Pops, which is God. And I did, what do I need to thrive down here in a messed up world and a spiritual body designed to thrive with everything around us designed to keep us from thriving? Somebody's got a good sense of humor. You know what I mean? So the fastest thing, in my opinion, is language number one, because I've always had an interest and a knack in figuring out like what creates miracles as fast as possible. Right. Well, number one, language, because we're using it all the time. But if I can use words that are more favoring to help keep my vibration high, because when you eliminate the word want, you're never going to drop back down to that lower frequency set. You eliminate the word want, you change the want instead of need to or have to, I get to. Those are all little adjusting words you can change that'll make a difference on the spot. I'm not helping all that stuff if you choose to. I'm just giving you some tools you can use right now. But I would say, just in closing, use my text message number. I'll leave it with James. Just comment the word chart when you text me. This will pop up for you. I will see you and I will say hi to you and say, hey, I just listened to you on James' podcast, and I'll do a free call with you and I'll show you how this works. And I'll add some value, see what I need or what you need to help you out. I have all the things to help you out. I got a 30-day challenge coming up. I've got groups I run year round, which for people who are committed to growing. So I have tons of ways to help you out. Digital products, books on Amazon, all of it. Best thing to do is just chat about it. And that way I can see where you're at, see what you need, and I'll help you out.
All right. Well, that sounds great. You definitely gave us a lot of great information. Hopefully, people take you up on your offer and reach out and start to learn more, and that way they can be their own doctor. They can be their own psychiatrist. They can,
And it
just
keeps me empowering you, not only just for you, family, it's for your family. It's for your kids. It's for your grandkids. It's for the people who don't know any better, but that you do now that you have had your own experience. It's up to us to change it. It's up to us. Like no one's coming to save us, right? That's the problem nowadays is what we've been laced up with and believing things and waiting for someone to come save us. No one's coming to save us.
Mhm.
It's totally up to us. And we can do it very quickly. Here's some interesting facts real quick, and then I'll shut up. In order to resurrect the planet with 8 billion people on it, 8 billion people don't have to be on the same page at the same time. Here's something interesting. There's actual math statistical data that's proven that really, if you took 8 billion people, multiplied it times 1%, whatever that number is, and took the square root of that, which is like 8,963 people. That's all the amount of people that need to be in peace, in high states of consciousness at one time to trip the scale for everyone. Okay. 1,963 people, I believe, if my memory is serving me accurate. Because we talked about this Tuesday in our group. What exactly does that mean, Brian? That means it doesn't take but a few of us to do the work on ourselves, to get ourselves into where I call it a state of high Christ conscious being, where you're cleaning up all your stuff when you're being loved, because that's who you be. All I'm doing is showing you how to clean up everything in opposition to that. You're naturally designed to be this way. There's just other stuff that has happened along the way that keeps people out of alignment, right? So all I'm doing is helping you to identify it, clean it up, and you're going to naturally raise your vibe. Now, here's the cool part. When you do this kind of stuff, you might not have a word with your family about what you're doing, because when I'm with my coach for a couple of weeks and I come back home, my family has no idea what I'm doing. And they're all different. Okay. We are all one. So whatever you're doing for you, you're doing for everyone, positive and negative. So give yourself the best, put yourself first, believe that you are the most important person on the planet. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to give that to someone else. It's not about being selfish. No, you're loving yourself so you can be of service, because you are putting yourself first. We've been kind of misconstrued on things, and the way we've been taught is like, well, you should not put yourself first. I'm like, yeah, you actually should. So you can be of service to other people. Because if I ain't taking care of myself, how in the world am I going to help you? I'm not. It's by law, it's not going to work. Like, you can't give away something you don't own. The scripture says, love your neighbor as you love yourself, which means what? We got to love ourselves first. That was the hardest part for me. Again, hardest part was loving myself. And I'm going to do this real quick. We'll close out on this because I'm going to help you clean some stuff. So follow me along. This is good for you too, Jay. Follow me along real quick. I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay. So just tap on your forehead. Come on, man. I give myself permission to feel my feelings, and it's okay.
I give myself to feel my feelings, and it's okay.
Do you hear that, miss? I give myself permission to feel my feelings, and it's okay.
I give myself permission to feel my feelings, and it's okay.
There you go. Now I'm going to do this quick because y'all can use this. Okay. So now all you're going to do is just say, I release my fear.
I release my fear.
I release my trauma. And you can change it, check words too.
I release my trauma.
I release my pain and my unforgiveness.
I release my pain and my unforgiveness.
Good. Your head's saying yes too, right? I give myself permission to release my resentment and my anger. And I'm just changing spots. You can, or you don't even have to tap. So I give myself permission to release my resentment and my anger.
I give myself permission to release my resentment and anger.
And I give myself permission to release my shame and my guilt.
I give myself permission to release my shame and guilt.
Under your nose. I give myself permission to release my apathy and my unforgiveness.
I give myself permission to release my apathy and unforgiveness.
And I give myself permission to recommit to loving me.
And I give myself permission to recommit to loving me.
And I give myself permission to be enthusiastically.
I give myself permission to be enthusiastically.
There you go. Now take your right hand, take your left one, grab around your right wrist, and just give it a little squeeze like you're trying to put your burr, your God-given strength finger, your thumb together, and just say, I am secure and I am at peace.
I am secure and I'm at peace.
Now just let go and take a deep breath and tell me if you notice any shift. You feeling lighter. There you go. So you could easily just go. I always add permission, because a lot of times as high performers, we need to do that to bypass our gatekeeper. Okay. Especially strong-willed people. When I get past that part, I can say, oh, I release my fear, I release my anger, I release my trauma. And you can even use the things I'm teaching you. Like, I give myself permission to love my fear, to my courage, and my faith. There's different ways of doing things. I'm just giving you a couple skill set nuances that you can do to change your state on the spot, because you need to do that. You owe it to yourself. If you're not able to change your state on the spot, it's another reason why you need to have a chat with me, because I'm going to help you do it for free. So there you go.
All righty. Well, thank you, Brian Johnson, for sharing all that great information.
Hopefully I got some good value. I guarantee if you do what we did today, it will absolutely transform your life. And here's the thing. If you do it and it doesn't work, it's because something in the wording was off, because I've never had it not work. When I'm listening to you and helping you, I'll help you pick it up quick. But if you're doing this by yourself, well, it didn't work, it works. Just something you did was off. Okay. And I'll help you. It just takes a little time to get the little nuances down. But once you start going into it, you're going to see how fast it works.
All right.
Thank you, man. Great day.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.